In today's episode, I talk to you guys about how to properly cycle natural testosterone boosters. So when it comes to cycling natural test boosters, depending on who you speak to or who you're getting your advice from, you're gonna get all sorts of different and sometimes conflicting advice on the best way to cycle natural test boosters. So first and foremost, it's important to understand that you do need to cycle natural test boosters. And the reason why is because a lot of the ingredients in natural test boosters, especially these days, because they're getting quite potent and really quite good, a lot of these natural ingredients in natural test boosters are gonna stimulate your body to produce more testosterone primarily, and other hormones that are considered to be anabolic and are gonna help you build more muscle and maintain less body fat in the process. So when you're stimulating effectively receptors that are gonna cause your body to do a certain thing or secrete a certain hormone, those receptors are gonna become probably the best way to describe it is almost immune to that particular signal of stimulation the longer that it goes on. And we see this with stimulants as well. And I'm sure most of you can relate when you take a pre-workout for the first time, or you haven't taken a stimulant-based pre-workout for a while. You take it, it hits you like a ton of bricks. And then you take it the next day and it still hits you, but not as hard as it did the day before. You get a week in, it's really not hitting you, so you have to up the dose. You get a month in and you're thinking, man, I either need to cycle off stimulant-based pre-workouts or maybe try a different product because the effect really isn't there in terms of that stimulant effect. The same sort of process happens with natural test boosting supplements and the way that they stimulate your body to secrete more testosterone and other anabolic hormones. So that's important to understand first and foremost, is that you do want to cycle natural test boosters, and that's the reason for it, so that you can kind of stimulate these receptors, allow them to kind of come back down so that you can stimulate them again and get really good testosterone and natural anabolic effects from them. In terms of then the best cycle to use natural testosterone boosters on, what I personally have found, guys, and this is backed up by blood work. I always get my blood work done when I'm taking natural test boosters so I can see the effect they're having on total testosterone, free testosterone, SHBG, estrogen, prolactin, and all other androgens that I get tested through my blood work. So I've got blood work to back this up. What I personally have found, the best way to cycle natural test boosters is 8 to 12 weeks on, followed by a minimum 4 weeks off. Now, what I personally found is that you get really good anabolic response from natural test boosters within that first 4 weeks. That continues to 8 weeks, and it usually continues between 8 to 12 weeks before it starts to kind of stabilize, before your body really kind of stops responding to the stimulatory effect of the natural test booster. So that's why I say minimum 8 weeks, right up to 12 weeks taking a natural test booster. And then after that 8 to 12 week period, you really want to take a minimum 4 weeks off just to let your natural levels come back down to where they were before you started stimulating them with the natural test booster. And that 4 week period, minimum 4 week period, you can take longer if you want, but minimum 4 week period is just going to allow everything to kind of reset, the receptors to reset, so that then when you throw the natural test booster back in the mix for that 8 to 12 week period, when you go back on your natural test booster, you're going to get a similar anabolic response from those ingredients in that natural test booster. So that's my advice: minimum 8, maximum 12 weeks on a natural test booster or a natural hormone optimizing stack, followed by a minimum 4 weeks off, and then you can repeat that and get very similar results from the first time you took a natural test booster or a natural hormone optimizer. And guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Everyday, talking about how to cycle, how to optimally cycle natural test boosting supplements. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn your post notifications on both on your mobile, your cell phone, and your desktop PC so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive.
Thank you for tuning into this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.